Family traditions are hard to break. My next guest started his career singing the songs and living the lifestyle that made his dad, Hank Williams, a country music legend. His father's life ended tragically in 1951. Hank Jr. almost lost his life a few years back from a near-fatal 400-foot fall off a mountain. Miraculously, he survived and began to record his own material while emerging from his father's shadow. As we speak, he has 7 albums on the country charts. Hank Williams Jr. Hey, nice to see you.
Hi, Mike.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you again.
It's just going along.
This has been a family tradition, too, me and you.
Yeah, it has. We've been doing this a long time, haven't we?
Yeah, since I was dressed up with the
I remember
the clone suits.
With the treble clef.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daddy suit.
How long ago was that?
I don't know. If you want to say, it had to be 10 years.
Well, I've been on the air 21 years, so.
Let's see. I remember that suit. I know that we did one about 71. This is 82, so that's 11 years
That's
ago.
back in Philadelphia.
Right.
Your incredible story has been made into a movie. You told that story on the show one day, almost in its entirety, and the people sat there in disbelief. First of all, when I make an announcement like that, a 400-foot fall. I once jumped off in boot camp off a 40-foot raft, and I felt like I was on top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
400 feet.
Well, it's just, you're just gone before you know it.
Yeah.
And you just think, well, I'm dead. That's it. Just going through the air, and it's just a miracle. That's all.
Things often people talk about people who jump off of buildings, and they say things like they had heart failure before. They never felt any impact because they had heart failure before they hit the ground.
Yeah.
Did you pass out while you were
No, I never passed out any of the whole time. I nearly had heart failure, yeah.
But you had
going through the air.
Going through the air?
Yeah, they said that's why I lived, because I never passed out from then to the helicopter ride, to the airplane, to the hospital, to the table, And,
you were somewhere in Utah when this happened?
Montana.
Montana.
Montana, on the Idaho-Montana border. About 8,000 foot up, a place called Ajax Mountain. And anyway.
Well, how did it happen? I mean,
well, we'd been at the top, and we were descending, and I went down a snowfield and slide rock, which is a mini avalanche, and down you go like jumping in a chimney in a house.
Man.
And it was bad news then.
What was the most difficult part of your comeback? I know you went through extensive surgery. Everything in your face was...
Your looks.
Yeah.
Learning to talk over. Looks and talking over. That's the main thing.
I want to tell you, they did a remarkable job on you.
Yeah, it looked a little better than what I saw.
How many operations?
Series of 8. 8 different ones.
And it didn't impair your eyesight or anything?
No, real lucky.
I was told that you weren't exactly choked up, as they say, about Richard Thomas portraying you in this story. That's an interesting story about when he called and all.
Well, he called me, and I hate to say it, but Richard Thomas didn't mean anything to me. And like this guy said, he's worried about the water temperature in Kentucky Lake and the mast crop down in the woods, And anyway, this guy called. I'm watching Purdue and Notre Dame. I got a nice bet on this game. And, oh, God, go Mark Herman, So he said, blah, blah, blah. The movie's great. The script is great. We're excited. And I said, hey, I'm a 31-year-old hillbilly. I'm excited, too, that you're making a movie. I said, I love everything except this guy, John, boy. He can never cut it. And
it was him on the phone.
It was him on the other end of the phone. So
what did he say? I know him quite well.
This is me. So I said, well,
you didn't take any of it back.
I had one boot in. I might as well put another, and I'd had a pair, So then, in fact, I think it's when we did your show about a year ago, and Ernie Borgnine was on there, and he told me and Merle Kilgore, he said, he said, Richard Thomas is one of the finest actors out here.
Great actor, that kid.
And when he said that, and then when I met Richard, and and Richard he's into this movie a lot, like executive producer and everything else. And I thought about it, and I said, well, that's not bad to have a guy that's actor that's known the world over playing my part. I said, no, I think I like that a lot, And, I don't know why I was so against it, just because of the physical differences, but that's what the word actor means.
Yeah, that's the thing that I thought of immediately when they said Richard Thomas. He's not a very large person, and you're a good-sized guy, and...
And his voice was high, but then he got around me and started talking, and I thought, gosh, he sounds just like me, So, you know, I was worried about it for a while because I could imagine Waylon Jennings or Johnny Cash could say, "Hey, Hank to my soul, John boy playing your part here tonight." Oh, that was a hot one. So I was kind of worried about it for a while, but boy, he sold me. He came with us, went on the road for 2 weeks, and got into it. And
he does his homework. He works.
Oh yeah, he worked hard.
We're going to pause for a minute, but we're coming right back with Hank Williams Jr. We're not going to let him go. You know, you started out singing your father's songs when you were a little kid and grew up and kind of lived the same life, although, you know, no longer drink or use drugs. Were you ever able to figure out what attracted you to them?
Well, I might drink a little bit, but nothing like it was then, you know. It was a lot of depression then, self-sorrow, which is an awful thing to ever get into, you know.
What brought that about?
Well, I had a divorce happening and a record label that was doing everything that I didn't want to do. And if I played a piano or did something different on a show, then I got flack from a manager that said, "Don't do that, just imitate your father. People don't want to hear that stuff," you know. So that went on and on. And, you know, again, this divorce that wasn't exactly my idea. And my mother's health was failing, and it just got kind of bad. And it's easy to fall into that.
Sure.
That wallowing bit, you know. And finally, this one doctor in Nashville said, "You've been taught to look like, act like, be like, sing like, live like your father." And he said, "I think you made the whole circle." He said, "You'll be dead now at about 25 instead of 29. And he was the only one that had the guts.
That'll straighten the fella out.
That did it.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Like when a guy lays it on you just like that.
Yeah, that did it. Like a lot of, you know, friends of mine say, "Well, how bad is it, Doc?" "Well, if you do this again, you're going to die." I quit.
That's all it is.
Seems to straighten out the real mean people real quick, yeah.
And that means just cold turkey, you stop everything.
Right,
It's,
that's it. Like Merle Kilgore and different guys. And I had a song called "All My Rowdy Friends Have Settled Down." Johnny Cash, and, Christopherson, and, you know, different ones. It helps to bring you around.
you know, just before your fall, your near tragic fall, you had decided to finally record your own material and kind of change your direction. How did the Nashville establishment react to that at the time?
Well, it wasn't great. The Rolling Stone review was real nice. A lot of other people thought it was, you know, wasn't the greatest. You know, Hank Jr.'s crazy. He's recording with Charlie Daniels and the Marshall Tucker Band, and
you recorded with the Allman Brothers, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Dickie Betts was down there. And, we did several shows with them, and, you know, back then you were crazy, and today, you know, good old, you know how that goes. Good old Hank knew. We knew it was going to...
The album you did of your dad's, where you actually sang over his track.
Oh, yeah. We did 2 of those.
That had to be an eerie sense.
Well, you know, I was 17. I think I was 17 on the first one, and about 20 on the second one, something like that. And later on it was. At the time it wasn't, you know. But I also got a lot more serious about the music business when I decided to get in the music business, instead of just the guy going out there.
When did that decision come?
21, 22, you know, in the early 70s when all this bad stuff was going on, you know. I finally said, hey, I'm
and look
go
what
out and try to do it. Yeah.
And the success came when you made that decision.
I'll either do it my way and fail, or stay home and not worry about it so much. That makes it much sweeter.
You kind of shoved out there as a little kid.
Packaged.
Yeah, really. Kind of like your dad was, weren't you?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really, from what I've read, didn't really want to do that.
No, he didn't.
Had a parent shoving him out there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out here. They were going to make some motion pictures with him, you know, with MGM. He sold a ton of records. And he swung his boots up on the man's desk there and made a very derogatory ethnic remark about the man's background. And they went out, and I think it was Fred Rose said, "My God, what did you say that for?" He said, "Because I'll tell you, I don't want to make no movies, that's why." he blew it as big as you can blow it, you know.
Good enough.
And I've thought about that a lot of times. I haven't gone that far yet, but I can get that feeling sometimes. I mean, my thing is writing songs, doing shows, selling records, you know. And then now maybe I can do some of this other stuff, but that is my bag, and I don't try to go outside that. And sometimes in interviews or whatever, my mouth just keeps on going, and I say what I think. Maybe that don't look real good in the People or on Mike Douglas or whatever, or I get involved
I think it's real.
in coalitions or, you know, Proposition 15, American Rifleman, whatever. But, you know, that's just the way I look at it, and the people that buy records look at it that way.
But generally speaking, in country music, it's pretty conservative when it comes to politics. Now, in your single, The American Dream, you make your opinion about the state of this country well known.
Yeah.
Have you received much flack about that?
No, haven't. It's not been out very long, you know, and haven't received anything about that yet. Of course, Country Boy Can Survive was talking about the interest in the stock market, and
yeah,
that was a big record for us, but I hadn't received any yet.
Would you say necessarily this is the happiest time of your life, Hank?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, ain't no doubt about that. The last 2 or 3 years.
And you got 3 wonderful youngsters now, haven't you?
Yeah.
And how about when the time comes, if they show signs, and they may have already shown signs of being musical and maybe wanting to get up and perform?
Yeah.
What would your feelings be having gone through what you
Well, now they can do whatever they want to do. My little boy's been with me on a few shows, and I said, well, come on out and we'll do Collage, and I'll play the fiddle, and you stand on the piano and sing it. He said, oh, Dad, there's too many weirdos out there. He's got it figured out already.
Well,
he's not really, you know, he wants to sing, but he's not really too sure about it. So
he is musical, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, he keeps time.
How about the other 2?
Yeah, the one does too, the little girl, but, you know, believe me, after my thing, you know, whatever they want to do is what they'll do.
And you'll encourage it.
Oh, yeah, what they want to do. You got to want to do it to be good at it.
You're so right.
Oh, yeah.
You got to want it bad, and this real bad in this business.
Right.
Well, I know that you have to perform tonight, and you got 3 guys in the studio I wouldn't want to mess with, and they're looking at their watches. So I'm gonna let you go. Hank Williams Jr.'s Greatest Hits. Pick up a copy, and thank you, Hank.
Thank you.
Much. Good seeing you again, my friend. And we're coming right back with Sandy Kenyon and the entertainment news right after this.